Second round of snow for the upper Midwest, extremely high wind for the Northern Rockies and Eastern Rockies, and then a lot of rain for the Pacific Northwest again. Good morning, I'm meteorologist Buttes, December 9th, 2025. So starting with the upper Midwest, because last night and overnight you guys just saw about 1 to 3 inches of snowfall, and unfortunately this is going to continue on today and tomorrow. Most areas going all the way from North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan may see about 3 to 8 inches of snow, and some places could see 8 inches or greater. And this is already occurring in places like North Dakota and northern Minnesota, as this will probably end until about 6 a.m. the next day. Further east into Minnesota, probably things are going to start around noon. The Wisconsin border, probably around 2 to 3 p.m. Central Time. Western Wisconsin, somewhere around 7 to 8 p.m. Central Time. Beyond the lake into eastern Michigan, probably around 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And even beyond the other Great Lakes, such as Pennsylvania and New York, you guys may see something about 1 a.m. tonight. And so if we look at 500 millibars of midway to troposphere, why this is all happening is we're going to have a really strong vorticity maximum headed into the northern plains and Midwest. And this is going to be a recurring theme, so definitely expect it to see in multiple videos. But these vorticity maximums are basically just spin, and it's going to help with the upward motion. So any area that it's headed into is going to help with that lift. And with the help of part of that atmospheric river that we saw in the Pacific Northwest, which is now beyond the Eastern Rockies, we're going to have a lot of wind speed aloft and also a lot of shear. And that's going to be doing two things. One, in the Midwest, the shear is going to help with the lifting mechanisms, but also for the Eastern Rockies, because we're going to have a lot of wind speed aloft, we're eventually at the surface going to have a lot of downslope warming or a lot of winds going down to the mountain. And so in proximity of where this vorticity maximum is, we are going to have a trough, and so at the surface we're going to have a low pressure somewhere around the upper plains. And so with a lot of winds going down from the mountain and warming it up, it's going to increase the temperatures here. But because we're going to have a lot of northerly flow bringing in a lot of that cooler air from Canada, we're going to have a huge temperature gradient. And the greater the difference in temperatures in a small amount of area, you're going to have a greater amount of differences in pressure too. And when you have a really strong pressure gradient, you're going to have a really strong amount of surface winds, which is exactly what we're going to see for the Northern Rockies, Eastern Rockies, and eventually the plains and Midwest. So at the surface for these areas, we're going to see wind speeds up to 40 miles per hour sustained and wind gusts up to 65 miles per hour. So speaking of this low pressure system, because it's that counterclockwise flow, we are having a little bit of warm air advection or warmer moist air headed into the upper Midwest and plains, which is help providing that fuel for the snow. And this is all going to be a recurring theme this week because of this atmospheric river that we're seeing in the Pacific Northwest. Essentially what's happening over there is we're having a really strong amount of wind speed aloft that's transporting a lot of moisture into this area. And so yesterday, today, we're going to see a lot of consistent heavy rainfall, especially for places in Oregon right now. But eventually later today around 2 p.m. Pacific time, this is going to shift northward into places like the Seattle area. So the coastal areas, urban areas, but also for central Idaho as well, definitely expect a lot of flash flooding concerns today. And the Weather Prediction Center has already issued a slight risk for flash flooding in these areas, and this is going to continue on for Wednesday, Thursday, and a little bit on Friday as well.